Hello and hope you have a good time. Today in this video we wanna talk about one of the best animations ever, Soul. Have you ever heard the name of it? Have you watched it? What is your opinion about it? Stay with us to talk about it. Again, there has been talk of an animation, quotes from cinematic circles and even sections interested in the intellectual movement. With the exception of the animated shorts that are discussed in very limited circles and with the exception of some Japanese feature-length animation that have their own interest, no animation has long been the subject of such serious discussions. The last experience we have in this field is related to the film Inside Out, which was released about 5 years ago, and now someone is having such an experience again that he was the director of Inside Out. Peter Docter has directed 3 films so far but has had various activities in the world of animation. Subscribe our YouTube channel to watch the rest of this video and more. His work is amazing in that he was recognized as an author-director with only 3 works. In addition to examining the situation of Docter's third work at Christmas 2021, some of his own filmmaking is also discussed. Soul, the controversial animation these days, is a work with philosophical themes. Part of what you watch following deals with the position of philosophy in cinema, especially animation, and the other part tries to explain in simple language the essence of the film's existential position. This is the first Pixar and Disney animation based on a black character, and it has the same details that are mentioned. The animated film premiered at the London Film Festival, the UK's largest national film event, on October 11 and was scheduled to be released in US cinemas on December 25. But was later, due to illness corona, the Walt Disney Pictures studio decided to digitally show the animation to its subscribers on the same date on the Disney Plus streaming service. This situation is not unique to the animation of the Soul, and it has also affected its competitors in the Christmas 2021 release. This is the first Christmas release in the world where most of the film's sales have been on VOD, not on the big screen. The reason for that is so clear: the outbreak of the coronavirus. And we know that a significant portion of cinema sales were already made in the United States. This year, China, which was more successful than the United States in controlling corona, was able to rank its total film sales higher than the United States. But the surprising thing is that the Chinese have also found a more booming market in the VOD than the United States. China does not allow foreign VOD services to operate in the country, and foreign films to be shown in China must be offered on the basis of Chinese VODs and benefit them. Wonder Woman 1984, a superhero series, suffered a major box office failure at Christmas 2021. Such estimates are based on the cost of producing each film and the expectations for sales. Just a few days after its release, the film topped IMDb users' lowest grossing DSI movie gross, grossing $85 million worldwide. Far less than the original Wonder Woman, it grossed $822 million worldwide. The animation of the Soul was made by Pixar and distributed by Disney. It is unknown at this time what he will do after leaving the post. At the international box office, the film grossed $7.6 million in 10 countries, with the highest gross coming from China, which grossed $5.5 million, not of all which went to Disney. The share of Chinese VODs will also be paid. This is the point that was made at the beginning of this part of the text about amazing growth of VOD users in China. Although Chinese theaters are currently booming more than American theaters, VOD seem to be less popular in the country, but growth in all sectors appears to have been balanced. However, Disney has a much better relationship with the Chinese than Netflix, and in such moments, this good relationship will show its effects. Disney has come to terms with the fact that it wants to take the share and allow the Chinese side to make the desired profit. But Netflix has largely sought to conquer the country's cinematic structures and has faced resistance from the Chinese government and deprivation from its blooming market. Soul is Pitt's Doctor third directional work after Up in 2009 and Inside Out in 2015. However, the director is well known and he was known as an author-filmmaker even before the film was made, when he directed only 2 works. The script was written by Doctor himself and of course Mike Jones and Cam Powers collaborated with him. Pitt Doctor in the production of the various animations such as Toy Stories 1, 2, 3 and 4, In Search of Nemo, In Search of Distance, The Amazing, The Chef Mouse, The Monster Inc., Coco and so on. He has worked under various titles and positions, in addition to producing, writing some of most important works on this list, and voice acting, some of which are also part of these activities. What turned Pitt Doctor into an author with 2 or 3 works was this attempt to use the visual and fantasy capacities of animation to articulate theoretical issues related to the philosophical and psychological fields. This was most evident with the animation Inside Out, and now it has reached a point where companies like Disney and Pixar are said to have created a philosophical work. The Soul has been widely praised by American critics, and many Chinese audiences have seen it on the web. So far, Soul Animation has received a score of 85 out of 38 films and series reviews published on the Metacritic site. The Metacritic site has also given it the must-see sign, which it says it's mandatory to watch. On the other hand, 190 critics of the Rotten Tomatoes site have registered a total score of 97% for it. However, not all descriptions of the work have been positive, with some critics calling it contrary to the principles of pure entertainment. The film's explicit expression has led some critics to call it an advisor and preacher, and these interpretations can be seen as the essence of their negative critiques of the Soul. Despite all this, the Soul is still considered a popular work because of its striking visual appeal and comic, happy and joyful moments. Unlike live-action cinema, the format of animation is very suitable for dealing with philosophical themes. These themes happen to be storytellers and create dramatic fantasy situations. Soul is the first Pixar and Disney animation and perhaps the first animated feature film in the world to feature a black man. Everyone knows that American cinema in recent years has deliberately emphasized giving more serious roles to certain social groups, including blacks. At first, it was supposed to be about a scientist, probably a small-footed, but his main character was a small-legged jazz musician, so that the main character's blackness would not be inappropriate. The wave of cinema in recent years, however, has been dominated by Democrats and Hollywood Republicans, who have been the mainstream of Hollywood cinema for the first 100 years of its history, have a long history of racist treatment of ethnic groups. Incidentally, Disney was also one of the main Republican companies, and there are many racist works in its history. Recently, there have been talk of some Disney archives work being streamed on Disney Plus Stream due to warnings about racist content. But the Soul can be a disgrace to Disney and the company that was swallowed up by Disney, Pixar. But at the end, with all up and downs about this animation, we suggest you not to miss watching it and share your opinions with us.